Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies, and welcome to Pure Evil. Today we're rolling out in the French Sherman Jumbo, and there are other tanks in our lineup, but who needs other tanks when you have the Jumbo? So, in this first battle, we're going to get right into the action. We're going for kills, and we are going to be completely ruthless. As you see, we have APHE loaded as our primary round. That is one of the most punchy 75mm rounds when it comes to its post-penetration effect. It's not going to be easy to punch through the armor of many enemy vehicles at battle ratings that you can face with the Sherman Jumbo with its short 75mm, but the extreme power of the post-penetration effect on that APHE round makes up for quite a bit, and the frontal armor of the Sherman Jumbo is legendary. At the battle ratings that it can face, it is one of the few heavy tanks that actually has reliable frontal armor, and it has such at a relatively low battle rating when compared with other bruisers like the IS-6, IS-7 that can face some very hard counters when it comes to the meta of the game. The Sherman Jumbo exists in an area where it can perform, and as a heavy tank, it's not obsolete by the time it finds enemies that it can face, whereas with other heavies that have very effective armor, they start to get into a meta where armor just doesn't matter. And speaking of, what was the armor value for that fence? It nearly rolled us over. But we're in arcade, we're grinding the winter event. Right now we're going for kills. In the next match we're going to try to pick up some assists. And once more, after I've ground out the air event in Tank RB, the quickest place to get kills and assists is in Tank Arcade. Matches go fast, enemies present themselves in droves, especially if you push aggressively, and with the reliable performance of the Sherman Jumbo, with its strong frontal armor, its punchy gun, as we get some nice hits in the weak spot on an enemy, M4, he really didn't stand a chance. There you go, baby. Yeah, take the whole piece. Yeah, have some breakfast pizza. I love you, baby. You are precious. You are precious. What were we doing? Oh yeah, we're killing everyone we see. Welcome to the Sherman Jumbo. So, you'll notice that I have these buildings off to my left and right. This is intentional. It gives us a little bit of security when it comes to enemies flanking us. We should have a chance to maneuver and react. Excuse me, I was eating a piece of pepperoni. You boys are getting hungry. These buildings should help protect our weak side armor, and that is the rub when it comes to playing the Sherman Jumbo. If you're looking for how to kill Jumbo, it's fairly straightforward, even if it might not be easy to accomplish, as we managed to bounce a shot with our thicker upper side armor against that Churchill. Churchill 3 is a tank that can compete with us in frontal armor, although there is a weak spot in the form of the turret ring, as you see us going for the kill shot there. The Sherman Jumbo has very reliable armor and rather thick side armor for an American tank on the upper sides of the hull, but the lower sides are significantly less well protected, with around 38, I believe, millimeters of armor in and around the tracks and suspension. So if you can get a shot above or below the tracks in that area, it's very likely to cripple or kill the Jumbo. So go for that lower side shot if you can. Even a small angle is enough to punch through with many cannons that you could have. The German long 75, the Soviet 85mm, and the Soviet 85 itself can often punch through the frontal plate of a Sherman, although that's not 100% reliable, as we get a nice shot into the weak spot on that Sturmhaubitze, a vehicle which has just at the amount of armor to make things difficult for the APHE round of the Sherman Jumbo. So another nice long-range shot on the exposed side of a Sherman. If you gain nothing else out of this video, it's number one, the Sherman Jumbo is still a beast, and number two, he has weak flanks, so tickle him in those sides. If you're facing off against a Sherman Jumbo, and you will see us go one-on-one against a Jumbo, and I believe come out the better, although we do get interrupted by an ally. In a head-to-head against a Jumbo, if he can punch through your armor, the first thing you want to do is take down his cannon barrel, and that's actually very difficult to accomplish as the short American 75 has no muzzle brake, and the way that Gaijin has modeled cannon barrels right now, as look at that, we picked up 10 very fast kills. Let's take you into another match where we're going to swap out our main ammo type for armor piercing because we're going for assists in this match. So at this point, we're going to want to critically damage an enemy vehicle by taking down a crew member or setting a fire, and then back off and allow a teammate to finish the enemy. I see we're in a 5.7 maximum up tier as we see IS-1s and Panthers on the team. Hi baby, did you need my assistance? Okay, hold on a second. There we go. We don't drop things. There you go. Okay. Tank Baby's watching Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood on her tablet, and when it stops working the way she wants it to, she clicks on menus all the time and gets out of the action, and then she needs Daddy to come and hit the back button for her. So, anyway, what was I saying? I got lost a few times on the segue. When you're 1v1 against a Sherman Jumbo, you can take down the cannon barrel. It's a difficult shot, but it is possible, and that's one way to neuter them for a while, allowing you to take down a track and then get around to their side. Otherwise, if you're waiting behind cover, wait until they fire and then go for the cannon barrel or the cupola. If you aim just to the left or the right of the main periscope, you can take down the gunner and commander. That's another way if you're using APHE. And then the next thing you want to do is take down a track. Now if you're on a Jumbo versus Jumbo, or if you're using the American short 75, you don't have quite enough punching power to take down a track with one shot. So what you want to do is shoot the track with the main gun and then spray it with your machine guns, and that should decouple the track, allowing you to outmaneuver the Jumbo and get around to their side. The Sherman doesn't have the best reverse speed or maneuverability when one of its tracks is taken down, as most tanks don't perform well in that circumstance. So that has been my go-to strategy. Take down a track, take down a cannon barrel, and then get a nice shot on that side armor, and Bob's your uncle. As I mentioned, we're going for assists in this battle, so we're sticking a little bit more with our teammates in this one. And it doesn't hurt that we're also in a maximum up tier, so it would be wise for us not to play so aggressively. But you see that even in an up tier, if you do things like angle your hold just a teeny bit against the Soviet 85mm cannon and then go straight on to pretty much everyone else, you can still bounce shots and absorb hits with the Sherman Jumbo. If an enemy round does punch through, the tank is... oh, there is an enemy Jumbo. It's going to be head-to-head time. How do you think this is going to turn out? Well, this is my channel, so you probably know we're going to win this one. So let's go head-to-head and use what we've learned. We go for the track but miss rather terribly, and he rams us very aggressively. And now, at this point, he actually took out our transmission with his ram. As we go for a cupola shot, he's face-hugging us so much here that we can't really get the gun on target, and he's just spraying us with machine guns. I don't know exactly what he's trying to do, whether it's taking down our cannon barrel, but he's pumping a lot of shots into our mantlet to no real effect. I don't think he realized that he had taken down our transmission, otherwise, perhaps he would have flanked us and gone for that kill shot, but maybe he's trying to take down the cannon barrel first, who's to say. We went for the whole machine gun port weak spot, and that didn't really work out for us, but we read his cannon barrel, and then we take down a track. As we're trying to find some frontal weak spot before we can reposition, he gets taken down by an ally, but we did take down his cannon barrel and immobilize him with one of his tracks. So the next move would have been to pull forward to where we have a shot to his lower side armor and then take him down ourselves. But we were going for assists, and that's what we got. So all in all, I would say that was a very successful encounter with the same kind of vehicle. People call the Sherman Jumbo overpowered, and it can steamroll matches, but so can the T-34-85, the IS-1, the Tiger, the Panther. These are all things that the Sherman Jumbo can face, and they're very, very competitive against our boy. When it comes to a down tier, the big boy that we're looking at here can be difficult to take down, but in that case you want to use your situational awareness to spot the Jumbo player before he gets to you. And a lot of more passive Jumbo players will be very, very difficult to root out if they put themselves in a position where they're difficult to flank, but then they're often not able to participate in the battle if you just move around them. Again, the main problem is when a Jumbo can steamroll a match, the way you see us doing here in this arcade match. But that tends to be the way of all arcade matches. In that initial encounter, whoever has the momentum after that first battle will often push forward and completely lock down the capture zones, leading to a quick victory. If not, as we get a critical hit on the engine of the Tiger. Where's my spalling? I feel like I should get a little bit more fragmentation on these punch-throughs of 100mm frontal armor, as the round has enough momentum and mass to take down the engine after a hit like that, and yet no sparkies. Where's my spalling? It seems appalling. So, at this point, we've picked up enough assists to get us our winter event medal for the day, and at this point I'm just seeing how many times I can meme this Tiger 1, who's completely unangled by the way, but we did take down his engine, so to be fair, that is a thing. I get the feeling though that this guy might not know the finer points of driving a Tiger, and that makes me kind of sad. As we take down his cannon barrel, at this point we're just waiting for an ally to finish him off and give us that sweet, sweet kill assist. You see that the track on the Tiger takes quite a bit of damage to take down, much more sturdy in the hit points department. Yes, there are hit points in War Thunder, it's just applied to individual modules and crew and not to the tank in general, which is something that I very much enjoy seeing. Definitely one of those things that drew me into the game from the beginning, and it never gets old. Speaking of never getting old, I really enjoy the playstyle of the Sherman Jumbo. I understand that it's a difficult tank to balance, and you can get steamrolled by it sometimes, you can get bullied by it sometimes, but that makes it even more satisfying for me to take one down. And as far as having a chance to play one in the French tree or the American tree, they're definitely a lot of fun and a great way to pick up kills and assists, especially in arcade battles where you have a good idea of where people are and you can make use of that penetration indicator to get the most mileage out of your short 75mm cannon. And as you see, some nice rewards. We got the, I think that's a FAMAS, and we've ground out the next stage of our winter event. Coming soon. I can't wait until we get that T30. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye.